Which stuff? Now I'm waiting. I already opened this door. There was a little dance party. Yeah, they scared the crap out of us and did a little... No, you go and open the safe. You open the safe, and it gives you a piece of paper. And the paper says room 302 or something like that. And then you come down here. I thought it was part of the tape. Because then you come down here and you open it, and then you get the achievement for room 302.
Yeah, because we just randomly found that one.
Okay, but since technically we are done.
I don't have time for explanation. But go check the wall. This wall?
Since I haven't put the mask on yet. Let's go break that wall. Let's see, right here. It's for the bad ending. In the hall before you go to the garage. The next to the stairs that are yep, there you go. Now this is for the bad ending.
Yes, it took us 12 hours, but we finished it. You know, next time we we should find a game like this. Did you hear me, Rob?
Next time we do a game, we should do one like this. And so that this is from the beginning. You find the gun. And you shoot yourself.
Wait, does it open? The door's not opening!
You have to open it.
I'm trying! It's not letting me.
Use the reprieve.
It's not letting me.
Not letting you open it after you broke the wall, right?
Yeah, it's not letting me open the door.
Are you
Is
close
it open
enough?
out or in?
Out. Like walk towards it.
Yeah, it's not.
Was that the blank? Is it done? Do I need to go back?
Hello again, Dwayne.
Hello.
How are things going over there?
They're going.
Is everything fine?
Yeah, sure.
Anything good on TV? If
No.
you need some recommendations, I could ask Frank.
No, I'm
He
good.
sure loves his TV shows.
Are you
He's
talking?
either eating, sleeping, or in front of an
Answering
idiot box.
Rose on the
Sometimes a
phone.
sloppy mixture of all three. The hardest thing I've ever had to do is wrench the remote controller from his hands. It's the only thing he loves more than me. Probably because of the mute
I'm gonna try
button.
and redo
I
it.
could just go on and on and on and on about things. But look at me talking your
So
ear
you
off.
mean if we would have
Maybe
just
he's right about that
went
mute
there after we got
button.
the sledgehammer?
Just
we
never
could've
mind.
ended it a lot
Dwayne,
faster.
I'm sorry. I'll
Yeah,
let you
we
go
wouldn't have
now.
gotten all the
Talk
extra
soon.
stuff, but yeah. So you have to go down there and shoot all of the shots, is what I'm hearing. Yep, and there's the one that's missing. This is gonna take a hot minute.
Yeah, it won't let me open the door.
That's weird. Where's your full screen mine to see it? You gotta. It's tedious anyway because it gives you the gun.
Yeah, but it gives you the achievement for it.
It's an achievement. Well, I don't want to carry the hammer anymore.
When did we get the sledgehammer?
Dolores. When we were going with Dolores. I do think this game was actually really well done. It holds up for however old it is. How old is this game? It's 3 years old. Still not bad for a 3-year-old game.
It finally opened. Do you have to open it every time you go down there? Or is it already
It's broken every time, but you have to hit the gun every time.
No, I don't mind hitting the gun every time. I just want to know if I have to open that white door every time.
No, once you break it, it's broken. I just hate that it keeps spawning me upstairs. Can you spawn me in the basement? Spawn me down here, so I can be closer to where I need to go.
first time you tried to shoot yourself.
No, but I'm wondering if there's another one when you finish.
Oh.
I mean, it's the way I remember. Based off of where I spawned. Ready, aim, fire! So I was in fact able to find all of the comic book pages, so there was that. Despite not knowing jack shit. I kind of wish, like, in your thing you could go back to, like, what the rooms were for the other places. Yeah. No, yeah. Don't stay in the dark, all that jazz.
I'm already dead. It's funny, since you're already dead and they come back, you have to open the white door every time. That's the door that they kept getting stuck on.
No, I just walk in there. It's still open. Well, we weren't far off from how long we thought it was gonna take, Reese. We're at 12 hours now. And that we did stop a couple times for like breaks to stretch.
Oh yeah.
And then there was that one time we took a break and I did not pause my game. And I was still alive.
Yeah, and I still got plenty of shots to take too because I had to restart, remember?
Yeah.
You are taking the long way around.
Yes, Flex said that, and I will tell you the same thing I told her. I can't remember the other way off the top of my head. I remember this way.
Through the kitchen.
I went through the kitchen. Look, I'm on my last bullet. Doesn't matter. Who cares about which way I have taken? I got there in the end.
Yes,
Spawns me back up here again.
Brad told me she wanted to play this whole day, and so then she said, "Oh, I don't know if we'll finish it today," and we did.
Oh! It had... Hang on. Oh, you can't see it in here. It said 6 on the floor! Like, it kept track of the shots. Do I go back down there again? I took all all 6 shots. Do I go back down there again?
I mean, worth a shot.
You said the garage route?
So, who is Lewis? And what does he have to do?
Oh.
That's what I want to know.
Coming again. Pick it up. And then what happens? All the bullets are gone. Aim the gun to my head. Why not? Oh, there's the apple thingy. Yeah, after the 6 you go down and do it again. Can't touch the apple? What do I do here? That never changes. Ah.
Oh, you just start walking.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter how far you walk, every time you look up, you're at the bottom of the wall. Honestly, the music's not bad for either ending. It was just really loud on the other one. I can see that, because, So Catholics are like hardcore into like you don't commit suicide. So the fact that he committed suicide in the first place already means he's not going to heaven. And then the fact that he then in his purgatory also committed suicide, continued to commit suicide. That all makes sense there. Because he's not redeeming himself in any way. But there's a chance that, like,
video in the game?
because he accepted,
Or did she
like,
send you
let's
something?
say that she sent me something. We'll wait for you to do yours.
Oh, it's about the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
So from the
If I
Catholic
can, send it to
side,
me too.
I'm gonna watch it with you. I will send it to you. You finish your thing.
Okay. I'm trying.
So as far as like the redemption part of it, like maybe he did accept Jesus and this was his, what is it, for the good ending side of it, it would be his, he had to steps he had to do in order to prove he was worthy. And since he accepted himself and went through all the things to see why he was the way that he was, he's like, now it's all washed clean and now you can go. So it makes sense. They're like super hardcore into that. So now I'm just stuck here. Okay, I'll quit. Quit to quit because we're done. We're all done here except. Now we'll watch Risa finish it. Oh, I'm a little too tall for that. I would
my God,
never,
that would
ever,
give me
ever,
a heart attack.
ever, not even
Making this game in
ever.
VR.
Yeah. Yeah. Never, ever, ever, ever. Alright, so did you want me to watch the video on stream, Flex? Is that what we're doing? Because I can do that.
You just keep walking and eventually it'll start?
Yeah,
The
you keep walking and then the credits will start to roll and you'll get the thing. And then it's basically done. You can watch the credits, but the credits don't automatically take you to the thing, like.
There it goes. Okay, yeah, you got another achievement, Void. Please. It's the Void ending.
Window capture? Okay, does it have the noise for it? Let's see.
Hello and welcome to.
Okay, that's kind of loud. Turn it down a little bit. Okay, Reese, are you watching?
Not yet.
Actually, I could play it on share your screen.
Huh?
So that you don't have to make a new window for it, I'm sharing it on my screen for your OBS. So your stream can watch it too. I don't know if they can hear it.
No.
Are we ready? It is a 15-ish minute video.
No, we're not ready because now I have to fix. Still had to fix it because. Because I had to fix the window.
Oh. Tell me when you're ready.
Sure that. Okay, now try it.
To another Story Explained video. In this one, we'll be looking at the story behind the amazing psychological horror game Visage. Never before have I played a horror game that had me on edge as much as this one, and it really invigorated the genre for me. However, underneath all the tension and pure fear is a story based on real life events which is just as deep and meaningful as it is terrifying. You ready? Let's go. So at the start we see a man shoot 3 people, a woman and 2 children, and then turn the gun on himself. Fades to black and a person wakes up in a bare room sporting a limp.
Okay, hang on, because my thing is being weird. I didn't like it when I full screened it.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that.
So we need to hide the people.
When you said, "Are you ready?" I got the comfy couch stuck in my head.
I don't actually know the Comfy Couch song.
Wouldn't that be copyrighted, Cap? I just read what they said when that y'all should play my band's music video on YouTube.
Not if he gave me permission.
You give me written permission, and I'll play.
And enters through a door into a hallway. It's made clear very early on that paranormal events are a regular occurrence in the house, and it's not long before things start to get really creepy. The character we play
If we have written permission for the music videos, we will play them. We will play the music.
upon inspection has no hands or feet and no body. A man shoot 3 people, a woman and 2 children, and then turn the gun on himself. Fades to black and a person wakes up in a bare room sporting a limp, and enters through a door into a hallway. It's made clear very early on that paranormal events are a regular occurrence in the house, and it's not long before things start to get really creepy. The character we play upon inspection has no hands or feet and no body. At first I thought this is just a developer oversight, but now it kinda makes sense. Our character is actually a ghost. Upon answering a phone call from our neighbour Rose, we find out that our character is known as Dwayne.
Hello, Dwayne. It's Rose, your neighbor.
Now let's get the initial confusion out of the way. The person who killed the people at the start was Dwayne. He killed his entire family and himself. This is partly mentioned on the radio at the start in the hallway.
His name is Dwayne Anderson. His whole family.
Essentially, Dwayne is trapped in purgatory, the place between life and a final death, if you like, and is trapped in the house as a spirit. What's more, Dwayne is being hunted and haunted by apparitions of the house's previous victims. The fact that Dwayne is a spirit has added weight when you factor in that every clock in the house is stuck at 3:33 AM and literally cannot move forward. 3:33 AM is widely known as the Devil's Hour, in which paranormal events occur tenfold.
I would ask how you know.
So the house featured in Visage is essentially what is described as a mansion. We see various iterations of the house during each chapter, which likely details the house's changing architecture throughout the years. It's located in Riversdale, Oregon, USA. In a comic book from one of the upstairs bedrooms, which tells us of the neighbour Rose's backstory, we learn that 5 different groups lived in the house from the year 1961 up until 1985. 3 families and 2 single males. Lucy, her mother and father, occupied the house in 1961. Dolores, her husband George and their baby in 1962. Lewis Taylor in 1965. Raken Almatawa in 1970. And Dwayne Anderson and his family in 1985. So let's start at the 1960s. Lucy was a young girl who lived in the Visage house with her parents at the time of her death in the year 1961. She was an only child and a relatively normal girl at first, liking toys, drawing and tree houses. She then developed a friendship with a demon who would communicate with her through the TV. Eventually, Lucy killed her pet bird Pico under influence from the demon. As a result, her parents turned, albeit reluctantly, to medical treatments to fix her declining mental state. Her parents mentioned in the game that the doctors administered treatment through syringes, which Lucy's mother didn't like too much.
I know all that, but who the hell prescribes syringes for a child?
Eventually, Lucy stopped referring to her mother as mum, but then one day Lucy locked herself in the bathroom and literally ripped off her own jaw under the demon's influence, killing herself through blood loss as her parents desperately tried to get the door open. Dolores was a lady of elderly appearance who lived in the Visage house with her husband George and their baby at the time of their death. Dolores, after moving into the house, begins to suffer from dementia, bipolar, anxiety and paranoia. Her husband George tries to take care of Dolores, but this backfires, likely due to his misunderstanding of mental health treatments.
Dolores' symptoms are aggravating. They tell me she's got symptoms of schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, psychosis, dementia and more.
Dolores, as a result, becomes paranoid that George is up to something and thinks that he's trying to kill her using rat poison.
I knew it. I'll show you, you damned scoundrel, what bread you're worth.
She has violent episodes, sometimes attacking George and self-harming, eventually killing him in cold blood with 7 knives. Due to the guilt, she hangs herself. Now, Lewis is fairly mysterious, so we'll get to him a little bit later. Raken was an ex-rugby player with a tall, muscular appearance who lived in the house on his own at the time of his disappearance in 1970. Raken, after moving to the house, begins to suffer from a disorder called scopophobia, which is defined as an excessive fear or anxiety caused by the feeling of being watched or stared at. He developed a paranoia as a result.
There you are, little piece of crap. You think you can get me that easily, huh? Nice try, you fucks!
Raken is admitted to a psych ward after firing a weapon in his home. The neighbour Rose reported him. He tries to escape due to his paranoia, breaks his legs jumping from a window, and after many tests he escapes his room again and ends up in what seems to be an underground part of the hospital, or it could be his home. We see that he gets locked up in a room where he eventually dies. Dwayne is the main protagonist of Visage. He lived in the Visage house with his family at the time of his death in the year 1985. A seemingly devout Catholic, Dwayne, after moving in, soon began to develop an addiction to alcohol and also developed depression and anxiety, further exacerbating his drinking. Dwayne suffers from a mental illness, which is why there is a stress mechanic in the game. He neglected his wife and children more and more, and eventually killed his family and himself, and ended up as another victim in a long line of victims of the Visage mansion. But is Dwayne really a victim? So the entire game in its simplest form is Dwayne finding out and investigating what happened to the previous occupants of the house, Lucy, Dolores and Raken. The stories behind these 3 make up chapters 1 to 3, with chapter 4 being Dwayne's story. Lastly, there are chapters for Lucy, Dolores and Raken, but there's no chapter for Lewis Taylor. This is because Lewis's story is a little bit different. Throughout the game, Dwayne obtains 7 VHS tapes, 3 after completing chapters and the other 4 upon finding them scattered about the house. These tapes are addiction, greed, negligence, indifference, pride, prison and affliction. But before I go into what I believe these tapes tell us about Dwayne and his past, I need to mention something called Project MK Ultra. In the 1950s and 60s, the CIA was tasked with creating a mind control drug which would be weaponized and used against enemies of the US. The director of the MK Ultra program, Sidney Gottlieb, paid around $240,000 to buy up all of the world's LSD and distributed it to hospitals, clinics and prisons under the guise of a bogus foundation, asking them to carry out research projects on patients and prisoners. Let's start by breaking down each VHS tape. In the addiction videotape, we see Dwayne being told by a man in a plague doctor's mask, which obviously symbolises Dwayne's thoughts and his guilt, to drink his problems away, leading to an over-reliance on alcohol.
Don't you worry, my friend. Just take Percocet, and everything's gonna be back to normal. Go ahead. Drink a little of this wonderful poison. It'll do you real good.
What developed this alcoholism? Well, what comes next might explain this. In the Greed videotape, we see Dwayne signing a contract which simply says, "You don't give an F." See, it's my theory that Dwayne was involved in Project MKUltra and was working for the CIA. My thinking is that this could have been a non-disclosure agreement which the government made him sign to keep their involvement in MKUltra a total secret, which was in fact a classified operation. This is where I believe everything started. In the negligence videotape, we see that Dwayne is neglecting his family and turning to drink even further. This is likely due to his growing guilt about what the government is making him do. In the indifference videotape, we learn that Dwayne has basically stopped caring. A vision of his wife accuses him of having a cold indifference.
Recently, you've been scaring everyone with your cold indifference.
His tape also shows us that Dwayne is taking various pills, and his wife asks who is prescribing them for him. Dwayne is essentially taking these pills to help him deal with his guilt, the drinking, the depression, and the anxiety of what he has done and his involvement in MKUltra. His wife even says to him that she is only with him for his money, and that she thinks it's probably blood money, but she doesn't even care.
I'm only with you because you have money. It's probably blood money, but I don't care.
In the Pride videotape, it's pretty.
I just want to say about that part, I don't think it was necessarily that she was saying that stuff. I think that's what he was internalizing, that he thought that she was only with him for his money. Personally.
Pretty much confirmed to us what Dwayne did for a job, as it's revealed that Dwayne spent some of his time working in a chemist's lab. There is even a timesheet on the side with his name on it, and there is a chemical structure for LSD hanging on the wall. This lab is fronted by being called Health Pharmacy. Prison is a VHS tape in which Dwayne has to knock down 4 walls to escape through an exit wall while being hunted by an apparition of a tall man covered in a dark substance. I believe this tape serves as a visual representation of Dwayne's fear that he would be sent to prison for his involvement in MKUltra, and possibly something else. Finally, in the Affliction videotape, Dwayne walks through what seems to be a water treatment plant. After walking through, Dwayne ends up at a well. Bodies start floating up to the surface of the water and Dwayne gets pulled into the well by a guy who looks like he's covered in something. Now, is that significant in any way? Well, yes, I think it is. Remember I talked about MKUltra, this super secret CIA experiment which ran from 1953 to the mid-1960s, took place during the Cold War in response to the efforts of the Soviet Union undertaking their own mind control experiments, which raised a significant interest in psychological manipulation. This project was eventually shut down around 1966, and all records of it were destroyed in 1973. Before it was officially shut down, it was widely believed by officials that the thought of introducing LSD into the water supply to control an entire populace was in fact an effective one. Could this be what the Affliction tape is referring to, that the water supplies were secretly being spiked and people were dying as a result? Is this vision a manifestation of Dwayne's guilt for what he was involved in? Certainly interesting. In this tape we also recover a staff door pass from someone's locker. Remember I mentioned Lewis Taylor earlier in the video? This locker belonged to Lewis Taylor. Rose mentions in the comic that Lewis has been unhappy working at the water treatment plant for a while and that she's worried about him. Has something sinister been happening at that water plant? Notice as well the black substance that leads to Lewis Taylor's locker. Familiar? Lewis Taylor's photo on his pass certainly seems to resemble someone that we've seen before. So I believe that through everything we see in the game, it all loops back to Dwayne. Dwayne worked as a chemist in a lab producing LSD under a company name called Health Pharmacy in 1953. Now we know that the CIA used bogus foundations to distribute LSD to hospitals in order to carry out research projects on patients during the 50s and 60s. Lucy was given medicated treatment at a hospital by a doctor sometime before her death in 1961, as this is confirmed through dialogue from her parents and that there are numerous depictions of Lucy being drugged. Dolores was evaluated for mental disorders before her death in 1962. She was suffering with dementia, but I do believe that she was being given LSD at the hospital, and as a result, she experienced other changing behaviours and developed other issues as a result. This, I believe, ties into the timeline of the MKUltra experiments, and they were essentially being administered LSD. Due to the location of the house, they'd likely both went to the same psych ward for treatment, the same psych ward that we visit in Raken's chapter. Lo and behold, both Lucy and Dolores' conditions worsened and they ended up killing themselves. MKUltra shut down in 1966, a year after the death of Lewis Taylor. I think Dwayne had an even bigger role in the MKUltra fiasco than we were actually led to believe. I think Dwayne was being manipulated by his higher-ups into carrying on secret work for the CIA, and I believe that they placed him at the water treatment plant under the guise of being an employee. His job? To spike the water supply for Riversdale. One problem. I believe Lewis Taylor found out what Dwayne was up to. Dwayne, with no other option, killed Lewis Taylor, likely drowning him. This explains why Lewis Taylor appears in the house as an apparition and haunts Dwayne. And finally, this leads us on to Raken. I believe the CIA covertly spiked Raken's water supply with LSD and bugged his house to watch him and surveil his behaviour. This was perfect for them, as Raken lived alone and there was no collateral. We meet Raken and get glimpses of his behaviour, his paranoia spiralling out of control. He thought he was being surveilled and watched, and he actually was. This is why in the Raken chapter, Through the Eyes of Dwayne, we experience it as if through the lens of a surveillance camera. It's because Raken was actually being monitored. When he fires his weapon at what appears to be an apparition of Lewis Taylor at the start of chapter 3, his neighbour Rose hears the shots and calls the police, probably more out of concern for her neighbour than anything else, and he is sectioned. He claims that someone broke into his home and bugged it, but police could find no evidence of a break-in.
He claims that someone broke into his house and tried to strangle him, and that he used his firearm in an attempt to defend himself. What's weird is that there's nothing in the police report that indicates any break-in.
This would indicate that someone gained access to the house, someone who had easy access to it and knew the layout. Raken mentions in the hospital that the medication they are giving him is making everything worse, and he is getting more and more paranoid and violent. It's not really clear what Dwayne is doing at this point in terms of work. He could be at the water treatment plant, and he could be working surveillance for the CIA, we simply don't know. But he knows Raken somehow. Raken even uses Dwayne's name, as did Dolores. Did Dwayne at some point work at the hospital in the psych ward, administering LSD to the patients? Certainly an interesting theory. In terms of MK Ultra, it wasn't until 1977 that US Congress held a hearing and put a complete stop to it. At this point, the project was made public knowledge, but most of the individual records of people being used as experiments were destroyed. I think that Dwayne moved into the house after the program shut down around the year 1977 to be closer to his work. It's clear from the glimpses into Dwayne's life that he harbours massive guilt for his part in the experiments and the lives ruined as a result. He seems to be a devout Catholic and even has a confessional booth in his home. Dwayne probably felt that he couldn't leave the CIA or the project due to the fear of being silenced. After spiralling, Dwayne eventually succumbs to his guilt and depression and kills his entire family and himself. Dwayne wakes up in purgatory and has to live out the trauma of his 3 victims before he can find peace himself. I'm certain that this is how everything circles back to Dwayne and that he was involved in it all from the start. Why else would the vision of Dwayne's wife in the Indifference tape mention the exact way that Lucy, Dolores and Raken died? Moreover, if this person in the Plague Doctor mask symbolises Dwayne's guilt, why is Dwayne's guilt saying this as if he's the one that did it?
Want me to stab you with 7 knives? Want me to rip the jaw off your ugly face? How about I break both your legs and leave you to rot in a cellar? You're a disgrace!
Dwayne essentially played a part in all of their deaths, however small, and now needs to face up to it. When Raken is left to die in the cellar, someone mysterious wearing a suit shuts him in and locks the door. I'm not sure if I 100% believe this is Dwayne or not. It could be, but we'll never know. Anyway, that's my theory on what I think is the underlying story of this great game. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a thumbs up or a comment on your thoughts. Subscribe too so you don't miss out on any future content. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.
We be doing?
I don't know, it's over. That was all. Well, a lot of it, I was stuff that I was like, I mean, other than like the MK Ultra thing. Sorry, I'm here. I'm talking to Flex now. She said just because it ended, I went, just Like, a lot of it, I felt like I was kind of getting that idea already. Like, I already felt like whether he felt like he had something to do with their deaths or not, I did think that he was being haunted by their deaths, which fits in with the purgatory because he kind of was if he felt guilty for their deaths. I didn't think about the MK Ultra thing because But until I read got to the end with the comics, I didn't even know what year it was. And I've heard of MK Ultra, but I didn't know when it was. Upside, inside out, she's living la vida loca. She'll push and pull you down, living la vida loca. Thank you for the follow. That's Freddy, isn't it? Gaming cosplayer? That's Freddy. How are you, sir? Sir, ma'am? So I had the feeling, and like, it's good. I like it. I like the theory. I can turn it down. Nobody's ever complained before. I can't change something that I don't know about. Okay, let's see. Where is my noises?
Yeah, I think this would have been a perfect game.
There, I turned it down.
I think this would have been a perfect game for 24.
Turn your skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking swallow, shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Is that better? Was that better? That comes out of the same place that my follow sound comes from. It's loud. That's loud. That was Jesus. Do I need to turn it down more, or is it still like loud?
That's way better. Okay, I do things now.
Oh, what Easter egg?
I don't know. Thank you for the bits, Freddy. Did you want to keep playing games, Reese?
Me?
Yeah. It's 11. 11:30. You
have to.
Probably, but I'm gonna be up till like 2 anyway. Did you want to keep streaming and play stuff, or do you want to call it and we can stream another day?
Did we find an Easter egg?
Did we?
In the game?
Listen! We started this morning and we just kept going.
Hey, me, Beans, Mad Dog, Daniel played Malum for 7 hours. We got all the achievements.
We got...
Not all the...
I mean, maybe 21. You maybe got 21, because I got 20.
Achievement?
Yeah.
Can I turn off the light?
I got 21.
Yeah, because you got the dolls, and I didn't.
But you said you got 20.
I got 20. You probably got 21.
Yeah, I did. I mean, we can always go back through. There's a sticker that we can find. We can drink some hot chocolate.
Like,
we can actually go back through.
Find all the pages. The Hall of Fame what?
It's the Hall of Fame. That's what I had clicked on when she told us to go back. I had clicked on that one.
Special gift.
Find Johnny's gift.
Yeah, we missed. I told you if I was cheating, we would have gotten everything.
We would have.
Hot chocolate and smile.
We'd be coming back to this going, when did I get that? Which one was this one?
So, all you're missing is just 7 achievements.
So we would have to do the Lucy too.
No, I found chocolate. I found chocolate. I did not drink hot chocolate.
I mean, we can always go back in, right?
Wait, hold
That's
up.
Not in a...
What?
Right now? I think I'm done with this right now.
What if there was a cup that you could put the chocolate into, and it would just magically make the hot chocolate?
Anyway, we could keep playing or we can call it. It's up to you. I don't mind either way.
What would we even play? I don't think we planned on a 24-hour.
We did not. No.
Wouldn't even plan on a 13-hour.
I mean, I kind of thought with how early we started, it would probably get at least 12. bare minimum. We were hitting
If you would
12.
have woken up whenever I called you the first 12 times, probably would have been done earlier.
Maybe. It's entirely possible.
No, but I don't want to play DVD.
So you don't want to play DBD? Well, we can raid out and then decide if we're gonna keep playing stuff. Where are we going? What are we raiding? Who are we going to?
Daniel's.
I'm a muss.
What?
Can I turn off the lights?
No.
Okay.
She has to work.
No, I have to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
I cannot go for 24 hours.
Again?
My husband works tomorrow, so I can get to take care of, to make sure they stay alive. Wait a minute.
I'm waiting a minute. What am I waiting a minute for?
Because Daniel said he was playing
Something.
itch.io game, and
DBD is not itch.io.
watch this.
I wonder if Fonzie's still alive. Fonzie is still alive. Fonzie's playing Hunt Showdown. We might do that.
No, don't raid out.
I thought that was entertaining.
Did you say don't raid out? Thought we were raiding.
Oh my god. I told him we finished and now we want to play Lethal. He got out of that match so fast, Rev.
He said, say less.
Oh
The
god.
more that I
Are we
look
gonna
at
get in
that-
yours?
The more that I look at that,
Yeah.
the more I think that's a t-shirt.
Yeah, man.
Okay, which one? Noodles? That one. I mean, I guess we don't... What? I guess we don't really have to if it's lethal. That's being dumb anyway. Did that connect to that? No, it did not. Okay. Let me... Open. Okay, we're swapping games. We'll stay on for at least a little while longer. We're gonna play Lethal. Anybody on game for Lethal? Flex, cough, cough, flex. I might have to restart my Discord. I'm gonna restart my Discord. I'm gonna BRB on OBS too for a minute. For a hot minute. Cancel that. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm already launched. I'm already here. What's going on? Stop it. Where did my OBS go? Did it stop?
Oh, hey, it's back.
Yeah, but is it live is the question.
Yes.
I don't know.
It's on light mode.
I don't know what's happening. Did it change my thingy? That's doesn't need to be there. Doesn't need to be there. I'm gonna... Okay, I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna restart. Restart